And then if you come on down to receiving messages, this is less about privacy, but more about keeping your account up to date and keeping track of what's going on. Okay, LinkedIn has a number of features that are really useful, and one of those is the groups feature that lets you communicate with other people who are doing the same kind of work you are or have the same kinds of interests. But it's really a great thing. However, you need to control the way that you're receiving all the information on those important updates, because otherwise your email can be overwhelmed. So I suggest that when you start out with LinkedIn, if you're planning to be an active user, that you go ahead and create a free account, like maybe a Gmail account or a Yahoo account. Whatever makes you happy, you create an account and you make that your dedicated LinkedIn address. That way you can have all of these emails sent right there, and they won't add to the volume in your inbox, because for most of us there's way too much there already. So you have the options for individual emails, a daily digest, a weekly digest, or you can flat out choose to read everything on the website and not get any emails at all. This is usually not the best option unless you're going to be on the site regularly and you're willing to make that commitment. Otherwise, it's nice to get digest emails to keep you up to date and let you know what's going on. So you go ahead and you choose how you want to be contacted, and then you save your changes. And this will help you out a lot in managing the information on LinkedIn that you need to manage. Okay, now scrolling back down because it moved my page up, we go to personal information. Here at name and location, since you've already made your profile private, it's not displayed publicly, then you can choose to have your name display a different way. So if you didn't want your last name to display, you could just choose to display your first name and your last initial, and that would be fine. Privacy is really important to people, and no one's going to look at you sideways just because you're not willing to share everything about yourself. Security is always an issue these days. So they give you this option so that you can feel comfortable. And then you choose, if you'd like, you can choose the way that your name displays. Okay, now, we also want to keep going back down this page and take a look at Connections Browse. This is under what's listed as a privacy setting. So right now, by default, your connections are allowed to view the people that you're connected to. If you're not comfortable with that and you want to keep your personal network private, then you can say, no, hide my connections list. Just fine. Nothing wrong with it, but you need to be comfortable. The theory of LinkedIn is that you won't do a lot of these privacy adjustments, because the idea is to share a lot of information, because that works for a lot of people. However, they have created robust privacy settings so that you can be comfortable doing what it is that works for you. So just because something's the default, don't think that that's how you have to leave it. They give you these options for a reason. So come on down here and take a look at profile views. Profile views is important because LinkedIn aggregates information about who looks at users' profiles. So you can actually let people know that you've looked at their profile, and it will show that your name and headline so that people can know you're looking at them. And these are people that you're usually not connected to. Or actually, I guess even if you're viewing their profile, it would show. You can also have only anonymous statistics be sent out, and that would let LinkedIn better understand who's looking at who, and that is to help them improve their service. Or you can just say, no, don't show anybody I've used anything, and I don't want any users to know I've looked at their profile in any way, not even by my job title. So those are your options. That lets people have more of a view of what it is that you're doing. So some people prefer not to do that. Coming back down here, we go to profile and status updates. Now, I think this is really important in the beginning, because honestly, every time you make a tiny little change, you do not want everybody to be notified that you've changed your profile that you're connected to, because even though you're going to wait to do your connections until you've got a good profile up, you're still going to be making changes at the beginning. It's just the way of it. You're going to make adjustments, and everybody doesn't need to know every time you change any little thing. So I would choose, at the beginning, until I had my profile set up, I would choose don't notify anyone, just don't include my status, don't include me in company or industry updates, just leave me alone for right now. And once you're confident, you can go back and change these settings and let people know more about when you update your profile. But you really do want to feel comfortable that it's done before you do that. Okay? And then we're going to go back here to look at the last thing, and that is partner advertising. Okay, this is important because LinkedIn does pretty much what Google does, in the sense of they pay attention to what you look at and what you're reading, and then they make suggestions based on that information. Well, it's not like it completely compromises your privacy, because they don't attach that to your username and give them out. But they do use anonymous profile data to help, for instance, the New York Times, who's a partner of theirs, deliver better content to people based on the things they're reading. So you can make your choice whether or not you want partner information to be anonymously communicated with these LinkedIn partner sites. I don't see any downside to it, but you know, some people are not comfortable with that at all, so you make your decision. All right, that brings us to the end of the LinkedIn setup. When we start back next week, we'll be talking about the key things that you want to pay attention to when you're creating your LinkedIn profile. Till then, I wish you a great week, happy job seeking, and happy work.